Welcome back, everybody, to Earthbound Super Series 2023. Let me get these racers going. Hope everyone is having a wonderful night. We've got Softnum and Rasmu here. Gonna give us our last race of not brackets, of Swiss before brackets. So hopefully they'll send us off with a good one. Nice Saturday evening. Cutting it close, probably the last day of the week before the cutoff. I'm sure they would have let any matches go on past today, but you know, we like to keep things moving. This is one of the later matches we've had this series so far. Even with all the wacky time zones. Good luck to both racers. This is a semi-important race for Rasmu. Softnum, thank you for Softnum for still coming out. Unfortunately, has had some DNFs and has already been eliminated from the brackets, but Rasmu is actually playing to win so that they can secure their spot in brackets, the final position. So it is actually an important match here. Accepting 20 people out of the initial 24 or 25 that signed up. I think we had an even number, so it was either 24 or 25, maybe even 26. I have the thing right here, I can just see. It is 24. So we eliminated 4 people. And we have a bracket of 20 for single elimination. But honestly, it's all encompassing of one big tournament, so at least that's what I consider the Swiss brackets as, part of it all. Even though it is just for seeding as well. I mean, you do race like a good you race more Boogey in Swiss brackets than you do in the actual bracket. At least if you get eliminated early. Both runners getting our hill climbs out of the way. Or at least the initial stuff. Cutscenes, basically. No spawns on this walk. Not until we get out of our PJs. Curious to see, I guess we can already see who seeded where, other than the very last seeding here. Since, I don't know if they're gonna do anything funky with the brackets, but I would assume that everything is pretty much laid in stone due to that's how seeding works. So let's see if we have any, like, pretty interesting matches going up. The middle of the seating looks pretty stacked on. I mean, the whole seating looks really stacked. So from all the way from like all the way down, gonna be an interesting tournament. We could see some upsets for sure. And, you know, Earthbound always lends itself to that, given that it is the game that it is. Alright, a lot of snakes outside in Rasmu's front yard. Gonna go ahead and try and stutter these. Very successfully done there. Had the pincer attack in the morning there. Softnum getting an equally populated front yard, but going ahead and choosing to despawn that. Rasmu fighting this 100% spawn play. Gonna try and get around this crow. Gets the green swirl. Nice! Porky actually being useful for once. Nice job, Rasmu, just threading that crow in there. And Softnum, unfortunately, getting a red swirl on the other end. Dog there that you can despawn. Very nice. Yeah, it's not often you get those. Especially a Porky green swirl. What's up, Slug? How's your Saturday? It is the weekend. Oh, nice. I definitely am gonna be snacking after this race. Oh boy, nice. Wow, that is a lot of stuff. You don't have to get a spawn at every single point on that hill there, but luckily for Softnum that wow, geez, unfortunate. Softnum is getting kind of rolled by the hill RNG here as Rasmu already makes it to the top. But Softnum legitimately just had like 4 spawns on that plate there for a second, so that was pretty cool. And then when they went to despawn it, they got a dog in return, so hopefully we can get this dog down, but we're gonna have to either use the bread roll or use a life up. So we'll see what Softnum decides to do. Because single digit HP is not ideal for going into... Man, there's just another snake there, my lord. I mean, this spawn plate right here that Softnum's going up to, yeah, that one is understandable, but like all this stuff beforehand, there you go. Get a little crow stuck on a tree. See, Softnum's playing it right, but the game is just like, no, 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 no. You're not climbing this hill. It's not happening. Despawn the dog. High five on the way down. Oh, just actually missed it. Rasmu dips off for the bread roll. Even gets the dog up here. No, Softnum, no, you gotta despawn it, man. Jeez. Well, this could be bad because this might be a death on the hill, and it's gonna be very high up. So, Softnum probably. Oh, really getting lucky here with 2 misses on the dog, but unfortunately, the luck does run out. Softnum will take a death on a very high point on the hill. As Rasmu goes to the first side-scrolling boss. Starman Jr. gets an on-guard turn into a 110. Nice. That's pretty ideal right there. Can't ask for a better turn. Other than a crit, maybe. Fire afterwards. He's got 3 attacks, fire, freeze, and on-guard. Gets another on-guard into a 113. Rasmu with the insanely fast Starman. 2 on-guards and 2 triple digits hits. Softnum, we usually don't see this gigantic of a gap right out of hill, but Softnum has unfortunately just been absolutely rolled by the RNG on spawns here. It's a cookie for his troubles, though. Probably gonna have to use that to kind of neutralize the HP here. Yep, gonna go ahead and use it. For sure, you love seeing sub 8 Starman Jr., absolutely. That's how you know you're cruising. Yeah, gonna have to deal with this spawn plate somehow. Couldn't stutter this. Potentially we'll have to... Now you're gonna have to get rid of it because that spawn plate is gonna come back. Trying to get the crow struck. Does manage it. Gets another crow in a perfect line, but nicely done. Moved back reactively, but unfortunately softnum kind of got stuck there, I think. Maybe glided off the terrain a little bit down instead of left is what he meant to do. And got into the red swirl crow fight there, unfortunately. Yeah, for real. Like, you just get all these things in the worst possible spots on the spawn plate, like that crow in the perfect position to just hold down that entire area with one movement to the right, and you really have to, like... And he did actually dodge it pretty well in the beginning, but it was just not enough. Got another snake here, gonna have to stutter, and then you'll have to deal with whatever's on the top, so try not to get yourself pincered here, hopefully. Thing on the top is luckily despawnable. And God willing, there's not something at the top of this hill, and maybe we are there. Absolutely, anyone can die. And bring that delta back really fast. We are going into O-net after all. It is a rather large delta right now, but in the world of Earthbound, anything is possible. Delta's like the time between the two runners. The difference. Rasmu could fall asleep. We all could. Alright, rolling into first pogo. Gets some dead turns. Nice. Oh, this pogo is blind, which is ideal. First pogo being missing twice. Gets out of there with full HP. Not even gonna have to use that juice at all. Taking no damage whatsoever. Oh, so it turns around, though, unfortunately. Nest starts missing. Alright, 2 dead turns out of that. Very good pogo guys for Rasmu. We will probably only have to see a bread roll heal here. So, a lot of psychic points going into Frankie, which is very safe and very nice. Of course. Actually, no, I thought that was Nest missing. But it was actually the S-Man Jr., which is even better. So yeah, we'll definitely only see the bread roll here, for sure. And that is a really ideal situation for Rasmu here. They can play it really safe. Softnum going into Starman Jr. Needs to try and get some triple digits. They're going up against a really fast Starman Jr. on Rasmu's side as well. Oh, unfortunately, Rasmu did not manage to mash that one out. You are able to mash that, but unfortunately did not manage to get it in time. They had the burger going. Unfortunate. I might have cursed it a bit by propping up how good of an intro they had, but I'm not wrong. They did have a really good... Having full psychic points there is really nice. That's true. Dipping into the burger there may have been a bit of a panic move. It would have been enough to heal them to max. No, they didn't get the burger off, so they still have it. We would still see an alive Rasmu right now if that burger was gone. So at the very least, they have all their stuff still. And they took the psychic point heal from Mom. A little bit slow there, but you kind of have to for sure. Unless you want to YOLO for a butterfly. But Rasmu kind of has no reason to. If you're watching the enemy racer, you kind of know they have both now had a very bad bit of luck. Yeah, Rasmu just trying to keep the race alive in the spirit of the race. I'm a very big fan of that. Rasmu taking this little path here. There's some spots in Earthbound where you can kind of walk on spawn plates or walk along lines of spawn plates, and they will either completely stop things from spawning, such as those sharks on the bottom left of the arcade there, or they have a pretty good chance of stopping stuff from spawning. Alright, round 2 for Frankie. Now the strategy is you gotta get hit, you gotta heal when you get hit, but generally you're gonna take some mortal damage every now and again on this fight. In your experience as a Boogey runner. Just gotta learn to roll with it. Alright, got through all the life ups. Gonna have 51 HP going into Frankie Stein. Very decent amount. Won't have to struggle too much. Of course, you got your enough for your 1 life up. Frankie Stein, more scripted than Frankie. Will throw a weak punch first, and then will blow steam every other turn, which is a dead turn, so you can heal on those turns. Or if you know that your health pool is good, you can just bash on those turns and heal on the turns you get hit. But pretty standard. 15-20 for the Frankie Gauntlet. Rasmu, Frankie Stein is down. Softnum beginning the O-Net stuff here. Finally out of the Hill Gauntlet. For sure, for sure. They definitely recovered fast after taking that. Because that's definitely kind of a sluggish one. You gotta take the photo, gotta take the mom heal. So you can kind of just gotta get back there fast. It's always a slug pun. even when I don't intend it, it's definitely targeted at you, so you were right to call me out there. Alright, Rasmu's picking up this key, and then we're gonna go off to slug grinding. Which is another spot that Softnum can catch up. There's a lot of times where you can just have hella downtime and lose just from despawning slugs over and over again and walking back and forth. Gotta get to level 8, yep. Listen, there's gonna be a lot of slug references, but remember that slug took her name from this game, not the other way around. Or should I say attack Swig? I don't think they have to. They give XP. Things that give XP just kind of signed up for it. They consented by being coded into this game. Alright, Softnum getting a lot of charge intos. Burns a life up here. But makes it through. Playing it very safe, burning the life up when you need to. Gonna grab this juice to tap off the health there. You can usually get 6 or 7 off of it. Exactly. You're on the table for leveling up my boy Ness. Alright, Rasmu walking into empty spawn plates and getting the... Oh, interestingly, maybe Rasmu perhaps is not a fan, or perhaps just doesn't know about the despawn strat that a lot of runners use. But maybe we'll see them do their own thing here. Because they had kind of like the perfect setup there. They walked in, everything was empty, and then the mouse was in the spot, and then like, oh, whoops. So... see what they decided to do here, but name of the game is to get level 8 for PK Rockin'. And we do that by getting 22 slugs or 22 slugs and co. They come in packs of 4 like that. Or 2 apparently. Love this game. All right, softnum through the shark gauntlet at the same time, starting Frankie. Nice, gets a wow. Okay, that is definitely what softnum needs to catch up a little bit here. That was one of the fastest Frankies I've ever seen. Just bash, dead turn, crit, we're out of there. So full resources going into Frankenstein on top of a super fast Frankie. I was gonna say, anything in Giant Step can kill you. Oh yeah, that's always the really silly way to die, and the real feels bad. When Ness like misses so much, or like he under hits them so much that they get to move forward so far that they finally get their hypnotize off, and Ness falls asleep and then you die. All right, softnum, 20 minutes. For their shark gauntlet. Rasmu getting a nice 4-pack out of the last 4-pack. That'll be 12 for Rasmu after this. Yeah, you were probably, if you were not either not paying attention to your health value, or you were trying for some real like. Because I understand. I know life upping when not in battle is way faster. I know life upping in the overworld is way faster, but sometimes the greed will consume you. Gotta life up in the fight. Yeah, it's like you're on the last slug. It's like, come on, Ness. Just hit it. Just hit it. And then, nope. You get put to sleep. And then it's back to moms. Alright, another 4-pack for Rasmu. Gonna be 16 for them. These are going pretty fast for him. And he's taking 3s right now. Yeah, that might be the trade-off. High defense, no low offense. Oh, no offense, I see. I missed the top part. Alright, softnum on the way up. Gonna stop for some burgers, of course. Unless we see some... I was gonna say, softnum might do you some YOLO no burger strats if they truly wanted to save time. So, we need 22 slugs. Rasmu, this will be 20 for Rasmu. You can kind of do a combination of 4-packs on the bottom to get 16, and then do a 6-pack on the top for 22. Some runners prefer that, or you can go the more safe route, which is farming out 24 on the bottom, 6 4-packs. So Rasmu now has 20. They could also take like two mice or something weird if they really wanted to. Exactly. Exactly. Or this works too. But now you can just take like 1 mice or something. Rasmu might not know that though. Perhaps they're hell-bent on finding slugs. Yeah, it seems like you're still doing a little grinding, so that's alright. Whatever gets us there. At the end of the day, we just need rockin'. Oh yeah, I've seen some runners try doing that too. That's a part of it as well. Yeah, exactly. Aren't all strats like that? They're great when they work. But yeah, that's also been, which is interesting. I think it's always been a strat, of course, because, you know, game's been out for a long time. But I think, at least in my experience, I haven't seen that come out as heavily, except for this year. I mean, it's always been on the table, right? As long as four slug packs existed on the middle floor. There's always that chance you could find them. It's just, I mean, it's super rare. I only find them when I don't want them. Softnum is catching up a little bit. They could get a better slug grind. Rasmu did lose some pace here a little bit, and I feel like they're, unless it's gonna be very hard to stutter this. I was gonna say they're gonna get into this six. Wow, they've got another 6-pack right afterwards, or it just ended up to being 2 different spawn groups. Yeah, Softnum can potentially make a little bit of time up here because he can have a more efficient slug grind than Rasmu did, technically. Yep, they did burn a rockin', so they'll need 2 butterflies. But that's easy enough when you can just walk over here. Yeah, that it does. There are worse things. There are worse backups. So from now on, although if you have 24 offense, you can stomp single ants. So Rasmu going for it. Rasmu don't think they check, so they might just be gambling, or they just know their offense, because some people do just know their offense by crits and just calculating. Oh, but that was 2, unfortunately, so managed to dispatch one very fast. The other one misses, so basically it was a non-issue. Is that true? I feel like, well, okay, if you get a big one, I think if you get a big one, right, then you have 24. I feel like going by the last offense one up is a trap sometimes, though. $83 to Titanic Ant, that's pretty good. Well, fair enough. Yeah, I wouldn't know the number exactly either, because I never went off that. Although I never tracked. I'm a menu checker. Another 83, wow. Rasmu getting those perfectly average, takes the mortal hit, but luckily was healing on that turn. You pretty much have to be healing on the turn you take mortal damage, otherwise it is a big sweat moment. Nice, getting big damage on Titanic Ant. 2 83s and a 30. Dipping into burgers. Oh, took mortal. This has to kill. It doesn't. Rasmu taking a Titanic Ant death. This is going to help Softnum turn it around a little bit. They're not quite behind yet. However, Rasmu will have to go through the entirety of Giant Step. Very unfortunate death. It's not quite behind because Softnum's still grinding, because and until Softnum is officially heading for the top, then I think Rasmu did yes to already take a death. Wait, right? Yeah. Wait, who died earlier? Oh yeah, they did die at Frankie. That's right. I remember that. Alright, well, they evened it up, at least. And technically, at this point, since now Softnum is going to the top, although I don't know... Did he get level 8? I wasn't watching. I don't know if he's a 6-pack gamer, so... if he is level 8, then Softnum does officially have the lead here. But at this point, you know, it's now anybody's game. That was a big death for sure, and definitely unfortunate, because that was shaping up to be probably one bash away from being over. So yep, they were taking tons of hits there. All right, Rasmu gonna stomp on this thing real quick. Softnum getting into a fight with an Antoid. Rasmu just choosing, but they gets a joiner there. Was hoping to just smash this one solo. I do not believe Rasmu's at 8 either. I think they're going for the 6-pack, but not finding it, unfortunately. And now they're in a dicey spot. Or sorry, I meant softnum. I think I said Rasmu just then. But I think everyone knew what I meant. Oh yeah, it's because thank you. At least you said something, because I was like, I didn't even realize it until you said that. Oh man, softnum actually in kind of a dicey fight here too, because they don't have Rockin' to get out of this, and Antoids are mighty scary when they're grouped up like this. This is probably, and especially if Ness misses, man, I don't know. That kid is not good. 2 calls for help and they fail. Just what softnum needed to live. That was perfect. Gets a crit by the little ant? Are you kidding? The Antoids out here critting? What even? Alright, Rasmu back at Ant. Gonna get this guy down. Softnum gonna try the backside despawn, I think, for the 6-pack here. But can get some psychic points to make it a little easier, you know, and get some health back. Crap, I didn't see what the Rockin' was. Put a shield up early, not ideal. Hopefully we can get all of these Rockins off. We have enough for 3 Rockins, which is definitely nice. They seem to have not been very good, though. There we go. Okay, 3107 Titanic Ant down for Rasmu. Softnum found the 6-pack, so this will be rocking for them right after this fight. Oh, what a giant step. Okay. Jeez. Oh, that's not over yet, but we're almost there. For sure, yeah. I mean, I don't think they had the health to really handle the... Actually, I don't remember what they got out of that Antoid fight with, so... In any event, he's ready to go. Just gotta get to that ant fight now. High 5 on the way out. Oh, unfortunate red swirl. Tried to get the stutter there, perhaps. Luckily, does not get a joiner. Not enough offense to beat it up. Missed the roll, the damage roll. Got the joiner on the second round, but managed to get rid of it. Let's take a cookie. No, too bad we have oh man, we got all the extra text for the cookie now. Too many burgs. All right, luckily softnum, like me, is someone who probably would not know their offense. So I understand softnum. But luckily is able to stomp on that one. Stutters the second one here, so very nicely done by softnum. Rasmu grabbing some extra burgers before cops. One, I guess. Might as well. It does save the need to go to the ATM. And every burger counts. Oh my lord, let these people go. You gotta eat that burger fast. Luckily, softnum had a lot of HP there, but took a mortal hit. Gonna dip into their life up for the last of their remaining psychic points. Still has that cookie looming in the inventory. Just don't forget about it. That's missing out here. Yeah, I only got one rockin', so definitely probably a pretty nasty hand fight here. Needs a lot of dead turns to make it happen. Mortal hit is if you get hit for more HP than you have. So if you have 50 HP and you take 60, then that's a mortal hit. And then it prints more. The reason it's important is because it prints more text. Because it says, you took mortal damage, and then it shakes the screen harder. So you can't mash it as well. So if you take mortal damage, it's kind of harder to mash to get the heal off. 2 smashes from Softnum's nest, but being one rocking down is really keeping him back. And he's had to go through 2 shields, I think. But one more attack will do it. 34-55 for Softnum's Titanic Ant. Has actually closed up the gap a little bit. They were even at one point, but Softnum just unfortunately getting a little rolled by Titanic, or Giant Step in general there, and Ant. I mean, that was a pretty rough Ant fight for sure. But the shenanigans with the 6-pack were not helping him in any regard. Rasmu in the Cop Gauntlet. Similar stuff throughout all of Onett. Another crit goes out with a Crushing Chop crit. Takes mortal. Doesn't mash it out. Unfortunate. Rasmu will take a Cop death. Dang. That's going to help Softnum come back a little bit here. It's hard to say who's actually ahead right now. I think Rasmu still could dip into Cops here before Softnum makes it out of Giant Step. Rasmu getting the Paula text, unfortunate. Managed to avoid it for three sleeps until then, but got it that time. This one is gonna be close at this point. Onett has been absolutely brutal, but we can hope that the rest of the race goes pretty good. Alright, Rasmu seems like they're going for some more burgers. They did use a few on the starter few cops there. Everyone should do boogie runs, especially since it's just boogie season in general. It doesn't have to be October. But that does help. The tent needs to die. I don't know if you guys know this. There's this guy named Boogey Tent. We don't like him. We gotta get rid of him. It's a campaign. Alright, both runners buying burgers. High-fiving in the burger store. First name Boogey, last name Tent, exactly. We need the Boogie rap. We're gonna have to, like, commission a Boogie rap or something. Exactly. Alright, both are now neck and neck, fighting cops together, just as God intended. Let's see which one can break through Onett first. Rasmu opening up with a crit! Not a crushing crit, but Rasmu, unfortunately, yeah, you gotta respect that, but luckily gets a miss. Cannot be out here disrespecting these cops. If you take a big hit like that, you gotta start healing. They do not mess around. Dipping into the burgers to get some health back. You bought them, you might as well use them after all. Softnum still has that cookie looming in the menu. Why is he fighting the cops? Are you asking from a lore standpoint? Or just like an in general, why do we fight the cops? From a lore standpoint, honestly, I don't know. Why do these cops want to beat up kids? No, it's because of Gygus. They're all angry. Although, are these guys Gygus affected? Or is it just the ones in Tucson? I guess it's not these guys, because these guys aren't blue. Yeah, I think they're bad cops. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, Ness can't read. They're mad. They got upset because Ness did their job better. Yeah, he can't read. That's why they're mad at him. Wow, they're taking bribes? I like this. Okay, now we're getting into the real conspiracy. Onet cops and the sharks were working together. Alright, strong for Softnum. First one to break through. Open it up with the rockin'. Does not work! Oh my god, man! Strong with the submission hold. Alright, the second rockin' does go through. Gonna have to use these burgers that we have, though. Rasmu only having enough for one rockin'. Gonna bash it out the rest. Get some dead turns. Because Softnum's rockin' missed and they've had to heal a lot, they're still even. Rasmu might actually, they're dead at the same time. Both of them Onet down 40-49. Wow. This is insane. They're keeping it alive. The sink is here. Yeah. Who let that sink in? Oh dang, Softnum got the glide. The lead swap going back and forth as every little movement. Yeah, you can kind of, so basically the terrain in this game is it's the best way to describe it is when Ness runs into it. If you don't run into the entirety of the pixel, you can kind of run off of it and Ness will just like move along the wall and he'll just start walking in the next like optimal spot. So sometimes if you get stuck on a certain pixel and you're trying to like go through a door trigger, you'll go like on that cop door there, you'll start running to the side instead of going through the door because you're gliding on the wall instead of going through the door trigger. Uh-oh, Softnum gets ganked by a mushroom on their way to Tucson here. 2 mushrooms. This is actually kind of scary. Not enough psyche points for Rockin', just gonna try and run away. We are shroomed up. So we are gonna see some mushroom gaming. That is actually not something we see very often in Boogey, as long as you avoid these guys. These shrooms are fighting back. I mean, you might be tripping. I'm not gonna tell you you're not tripping. But the shrooms are also fighting. So now Softnum has until Softnum gets to Peaceful Rest Valley. Softnum technically can get rid of this in the hospital if they don't feel like dealing with it. But the optimal way to do it is just to take it all the way to PRV, which is a little annoying. Every 90 seconds, right? It's either every 90 seconds or every minute. Your control stick will flip 90 degrees. Softnum got shroomed, so that's basically it's a debuff that Softnum's gonna have until they get to a special mushroomize. Yeah, they have it's a special debuff that they're gonna hold on their head that switches their D-pad movement 90 degrees every minute, I think, until they can get it removed. See how they're walking into the wall right now? So you kind of have to turn your controller every time it happens. Okay, softnum's choosing to get rid of it early because they hate it. So I understand. They're going to the hospital to get rid of it. 2 spots you can get rid of it at are the hospital, because you have to find the spirit healer. This guy. Or you can take it all the way to PRV and give it to the lady. It's 30 seconds. Okay. Yeah, that sounds actually more correct than what I was saying. Oh yeah, the other part of it is very annoying as well, is it counts as like confusion basically. It might even be like a worse degree of confusion or something. I'm not sure how it works in battle specifically. I think it's just feeling strange, right? I mean, isn't all confusion just feeling strange in this? So I think it's just regular feeling strange. Oh, it says feeling funky. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Maybe that's the only, like, different. Yeah, true. It might be different. They might just have that just so because it has the extra debuff of when you're, like, walking around. But who knows? Where are my factlets? Yeah, where are the smart people at? I need people to tell me what's up. All right, Rasmu, spawning that pencil and walking back. They were neck and neck for a while, but softnum took some unfortunate shroom detours. Rasmu taking a PRV fight though as well. Gonna have to rock into this to get out. UFO's very scary. Why is the water purple? You're gonna have to ask Toy that. The dev of Earthbound. He had an executive decision to make that water purple. Because we're on mushrooms, as previously described, yeah. I mean, that is literally a plot point in Mother 3, so I mean, it's really not even far off. You do. You eat mushrooms. Alright, another high five for Rasmu and softnum as they get through this sprout cave. Not a lot of despawns for Rasmu on the way back, just that one initial one, but they did lose some time taking the UFO fight. So you don't technically have to go up all the way for this pencil. In fact, you'll see softnum didn't even actually get that pencil on screen. You don't have to go as far as softnum did, but just enough to spawn that pencil. The game registers the pencil spawned on screen is enough for Apple Kid to know it's there magically. Softnum getting a butterfly here. Another goal for the runners here are to maximize our psychic points before Shack fight, which is the next big fight we'll be taking. Oh, gonna have to despawn this probably. Those guys are kind of in the way of all progress right now. Softnum sees those mushrooms, does not want another experience with that. Same with those on Rasmu's screen as well. They're just all up in the places we need to walk. Softnum playing a little dangerous game there. You gotta be careful walking all the way up there on that that pathway. You can get into that Everdread fight, which is not gonna be very good for you. Softnum skip sandwich gaming. Very much appreciate that. Yeah, I learned that the hard way very early on in my Boogey career. Was you do not want to walk on that top side of those vendors. You just cut through as soon as you can. Oh, really? Interesting. Interesting position to cross stitch. Just because I think it's not that iconic of a moment, but yeah, I think that's cool. You're just an Everdread fan, huh? Everdread is cool, so. Rasmu having a nice entrance to PRV, but stuck on this spawn plate right here. These trees are not moving out of the way. Has to do a few despawns. This one was hiding at the very bottom of the spawn plate there. Not gonna be enough to get rid of that. You're gonna have to go up more. Another diamond there, and finally get some sprouts on that top spawn plate. So now we are a little pincered here. But utilizing the room up there, gonna get rid of that. Grabbing another butterfly here. This might be Rasmu's first one, actually. We are looking for 2 to hit max psychic points. Nice openness here. One final tree on the last spawn plate here, or at least this last spawn plate before like this butterfly one. Softnum starting their PRV walk here, grabbing their second butterfly. So Softnum should be good to go, just have to get through PRV here. Rasmu doing the Vogler to try and get rid of that diamond. Going in the Vogler area. Luckily that other diamond was stuck on the train. Softnum having to do some despawns in PRV as well, not having as easy of a time. Butterflies will give you 20 psychic points? 15? They give psychic points, which is what we need. Softnum doing a bit of a greedy walk there, but had to get out of the pincer. Is now in a fight with 2 things. Gonna probably have to throw some rockets to try and get away from this, maybe. If anything, you're definitely gonna have to heal now. Taking a magnet. Looking low on the HP, pulls the life up. Rasmu having to despawn a cultist. 2 cultists. They're everywhere. Finally gets to run out of here. Will get some iframes to get... Doesn't need the life up, but will need another butterfly, so this is what... No! No, no, it's going off into such a bad place. No, come back! Yeah, okay, Softnum, you did the right thing, but unfortunate that you weren't able to get it. Oh, man, yeah, it was going off into a big no-no land down there. Oh my god. Just so close to grabbing it, like on that rock, and then it just like, nope. Psych! Softnum trying for this despawn or respawn of a butterfly here to get back up to full psychic points. Rasmu utilizing their level. Oh, a bit of a bad pincer for Softnum. This tree's gonna chase him. Rasmu's got quite a few, has an extra level from all their O-net stuff, it would appear. Which is gonna help him out here. Gonna make this part really nice, except Ness is just 2 misses. Hit this crow, Ness. Oh my lord. Oh. Softnum finally making it to happy, grabbing a fresh egg. And then doing some shopping as well, a little bit of both. Yes, blue. Looks like Rasmu is also hitting up the free food store. Utilizing it to get a fresh egg, just to get it up to max. Honestly, the banana would have probably got you there too. Well, maybe. I think the banana's like 20 something. Or maybe it's higher. I mean, that depends on your sleep schedule. Honestly, sometimes I, like, am so tired I can drink coffee at midnight and still, like, pass out at 2 a.m. or something. Oh, right. Rasmu going into the scripted HQ cultist fight. Getting a joiner turn 1. As softnum goes into the shack fight. But pretty standard. You get that joiner, you're gonna have to burn that rockin'. But luckily, as we said, Rasmu had some extra levels after Onet. So going into Carpainter with a rockin' still is pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good. Softnum getting a big rockin'. Gets 1 cultist off. Actually, I think they burnt 2 rockins, so they're bashing to get the rest of them, so 2 rockins wasn't even able to kill the first one. Must have missed. Alright, Carpainter for Rasmu. Scripted fight. Three moves that cycle back and forth, so he does lightning, which you're looking for reflex on. Then he'll do life up / psychic shield, which he'll just kind of alternate every time he gets back to that turn. And then he'll attack you with a paint attack, and then a lightning, and then he'll do the shield, paint attack, so on and so forth. So it really kind of hinges on you getting a lot of reflex or some big reflex, because Carpainter will throw that life up every now and again and sets you back every now and again, or crits. Crits are big damage as well. Getting a reflect that might do it. Carpainter turn time 55 minutes in, 55-58. Nicely done by Rasmu. 27 HP after the level up as well. Very good range for the Death Warp. Softnum actually closing up the gap a bit, though. They're on the HQ cultist here. Rasmu had a pretty fast Carpainter. We could see a faster one even, though, from Softnum. Softnum also didn't get the joiner, so didn't have to burn their rockin' on this cultist fight, which will be helpful because now they can get an IQ up, maybe, from this level up. Yes, they will have 2 rockins with the big IQ up on that cultist, which will be huge for maybe killing Carpainter fast. Kinda need everything they can get to get back in this. Yo, thank you for the raid, Psychic Gamer. Welcome in. Welcome in, Raiders. This is Earthbound Super Series, final match of the Swiss bracket before our actual bracket. So, welcome in. This is a big race, and it's very close. There's probably only like a minute between the runners. And there's still time for that minute to be closed. Winters is a cruel beast. Softnum unfortunately did not get as fast of a Carpainter though as Rasmu did, so that's gonna put him back a bit farther. So Rasmu keeping that lead a little bit here. Yeah, Paula's theme is definitely a good whistle theme. I agree. Oh my god, I remember that mole. That mole took minutes. Beans mole. It was a bad one. I feel like I have actually seen worse, funnily enough, in a past year's Boogey. But that one was up there. Anytime the mole kills itself is like, come on, man. Alright, Rasmu starting the Death Warp here. with the goal of getting back to Tucson. Ness goes down fast. Very ideal. And Paula just boom, boom, 1-2. We're out of there. Fastest death warp. We were just talking about terrible death warps. That was the fastest death warp you could ever have. You cannot ask for better than that, for real. Back in Tucson, gotta bring back Paula, and then it's Cutscene City. Couple minutes of just straight fetch questing and listening to some good music. Softnum doing that inventory management. Now that we have Paula. That's what Tucson is, basically. It's just like fire. You just rapid fire. Paula, Everdread, Runaway 5, Busta Threed, and then the winner's cutscene right after that. Honestly, the graveyard is like a little break. All right, Softnum doing the death warp as well. I don't actually know what his HP was at. 73, not as gonna be as fast as Rasmu's right out the gate because of that. And already their mole is being absent-minded. I'm getting flashbacks. Come on, man. Come on, just start hitting us. You're an enemy in this game. Please. Don't you have an agenda, man? Oh, it just missed. This is shaping up to be a Peen Train mole right now. Oh my lord. I can't watch, man. It's like there's no in between. It either does nothing or it's like Rasmu's mole or it's Softnum's mole. There is no in between. It's actually insane. I didn't think we would curse him this bad, guys. Jeez. I think this is worse than Peen Trains, because I think Peen Trains killed itself by this point. Yeah, it has actually done nothing. It missed one. Okay, there we go. There we go, baby. Let's give it up for the mole. Just missed. Alright, mortal damage to Paula. At least one kid is down. There we go. Alright, Jesus. At long last. I feel you, Rasmu. That was a brutal net. But honestly, your everything in Happy Onward has been pretty good, so... Honestly, I'd say PRV Onward has been pretty dang good. Softnum has definitely been having some really rough RNG for sure, though. Yeah, that's for sure. it is a give and take relationship. You are allowed to hate the game at an equal level that the game is allowed to hate you. How could anyone forget about this extremely late on a Saturday match? I guess it's not extremely late. It's still fairly early for our... Not fairly, but it's still early for our West Coasters. Dang, Sunday workers. That sucks, I'm sorry. But I respect your love for Earthbound to come out and support anyways. Alright, we got a right side bust from Rasmu. Nicely done. Softnum getting ran into by everyone in the elementary school right now. Every single local in Tucson right now trying to run in Softnum's way. You cannot refuse his generosity. I can see why you like Everdread Attack Slug. I would appreciate anyone who just is like, here, take my fat wad of cash. Thank you, Everdread. You cannot refuse my generosity. You're right, I cannot. Everdreezy, yeah, there you go. I like that. Hey, we don't ask questions. Yeah, exactly. There's probably a reason he's giving it to a 10-year-old. Alright, Rasmu, 3'd entrance. Enter 3'd, if you will. Wow. This is a graveyard. Oh my god, they got caught by the trash can too. So it's gonna be very hard to get out of. We might see Paula get a level up here if everyone attacks Ness. But unfortunately, Paula will go down here. We will probably just see a death, unfortunately, for Rasmu, which will help Softnum, considering this is still kind of close. That is actually going to work in Softnum's favor a little bit. Blrasmu will take a death here. Not going to set them too far back, only to this checkpoint by the bus, but it's there. It's something. It's on the board. That was an absolutely nasty amount of spawns to open up Graveyard with, for sure. And of course, in true Earthbound fashion, they're all gone on the way back. Except for those guys. Uh-oh. That's not ideal because they're coming over a little bit. You do have a fly in your zone now. Cannot despawn that guy. You should be able to kill this, luckily. Yeah. It's only one. Got a nice crit just to make it for sure. Gonna try and use iframes to get out of this. Should be semi-okay, but does get clipped by a trash can at the very end there. This one is gonna be a little harder to get out of. The bonus is that we have already talked to the zombies, so we are okay to die here and just go to the hotel. But still slightly another time loss. I mean, you never want to die, so every step in back for Rasmu is another one that Softnum can take here to get another lead back. Winters will be where the last kind of chance will be, although Boogey still. I can never say last chance because Boogey is on the table. And Boogey will just kill you no matter what, if he wants to. But Winters is really the last, like, mechanical spot. The last spot where it's not the game's choice, you know? It's like half a death warp, yeah. It's in that it's death, yeah. It's the death without the warp. Alright, Softnum on his way to 3 now. If softnum gets a really fast graveyard, we could see the gap get smaller and smaller here. Still some more points where deaths can happen as well. Airbnb percent? Okay, you're gonna have to explain that one to me. I don't need to explain it, because they'll happen. If people are gonna die, they'll die. Earthbound will make sure of it. But the main points coming up that are mainly movement intensive, of course, are going to be Brick Road and Pond Cave, so still some room for mistakes to be made or godlike plays to be made. But softnum luckily gets that fly stuck on a gravestone, had to deal with some graveyard locals. Also going to have to despawn a trash can here. But doesn't die, so already a little better than Rasmu's graveyard. Oh, take every heal. I gotcha. That's cool. That's an interesting concept. I love Mimi subcategories like that. Because then you can get really into the nitty gritty of how do you optimize that. And it's usually some sort of different. The thing about this game though is that you can glitch it. So a lot of those categories and stuff you could do in like really weird ways. You can glitch it quite a bit. You can glitch it, you can manip it. The world's your oyster. I think some people have been saying they want to stream like Home Runner. Wow, I cannot talk. It is late. Forgive me. Homeowner. Rasmu getting the Homestar Runner, thank you. I miss Homestar Runner, man. That was such a good part of my childhood. Shout out to Homestar Runner. Do they? Great. I should check them out, actually. Rasmu getting the safety dog. Couple extra HP points for that first protoplasm and a chance at a bread roll. Which I think I heard the noise, so I think Rasmu did get it. I didn't see the text, so I'm not locking it in that they did have it, but I think I heard the noise. Right. But that's good to hear that they're still making them. Same slug, yeah. Alright, Rasmu, our first Tessie of the night. Go ahead and get him out, let him go. I was gonna say, I speak very highly of it because I think the comedy is pretty good, and I feel like having not watched one in a while, I feel like I can go back and watch some of their older ones, and the comedy probably hasn't gotten old because I just remember it being really good. Alright, softnum finishing up the boarding school here. Not really going to be a big part for them to catch up any time until they get to Brick Road. And obviously, they're probably looking at Rasmu to get owned a bit by RNG here as well. We'll see if Rasmu tries for any of these brick road skips to keep their lead. You get owned in Brick Road, you can get owned in Pond Cave. You can get owned right here if you run into this goat. But Rasmu, of course, knows that there is another one of those spawn plate things you can walk on, spawn plate lines. You despawn that goat down there. 3 scripted fights here in Brick Road, 2 protoplasms and a mad duck. All are skippable. The first protoplasm is the hardest to skip. You have to do a proper movement setup as well as Bubble Monkey not screwing you, so it is a conclave of RNG there. Rasmu getting the unfortunate option of the joiner on turn 1. Couple ways to deal with this, but unfortunately they're hitting him very, very much. Down to 1 HP, gets the bread roll off. That's going to keep him alive. The bread roll that dropped from the safety dog is going to keep Rasmu in this race, not taking a death to... In this race, I mean in the Brick Road, not taking a death to the proto there. That is the beauty of the safety dog. You get the 3 extra HP there, the couple extra HP. On top of the bread roll, 50% drop from that dog. Rasmu trying for the, like we said, everything in here is skippable, so trying for this next skip, you do have to set it up. Get that duck down there in that spot. Oh, wow, but it did not go far enough, and Bubble Monkey did not screw us there also. That definitely could have been a moment where Bubble Monkey could have screwed Rasmu there, and it didn't happen twice. Gets both skips. Well done by Rasmu. Nice movement there. And a shout out to Bubble Monkey for not being a jerk twice. Because that could have ended badly on both those skips. But that'll help Rasmu quite a bit, keep this lead for him. Having to despawn quite a bit for this first room of Pond Cave, though, not just getting the free walk-in. Finally gets it, though. Now you're kind of left with this choice of, do you stutter a lot in here, or do you just kind of despawn everything? Rasmu choosing to despawn. This corridor right here is very tight, so you are not wrong to try and despawn. Pincers there are very bad. Wow, I think I've seen the spawn plate so spread out like this, with like everything in like one corner. But that was a rough one for Rasmu. Definitely a lot of stuff to stutter for lag. But 2 slugs is definitely not, you know, scary. Get a bomb! Whoa, let's go! The Pond Cave bomb! I don't even know what I guess Boogey... I mean, you can give it to Paula. Boom. There you go. I was like, what do you use that for? I don't know if I've ever seen a bomb in Pond Cave. Because usually you don't try to fight slugs. So, you know? I think that's why it's like, you know, not only is it a 1 in 128 drop, you know, there's that part of it. People normally are not trying to take slug fights in here, so you don't ever really see that that chance often. Rasmu also taking the safety bottle rocket, perfectly fine. Although truthfully, I mean, anything's but your BBR could miss. Like, your BBR could just straight up miss, so... I mean, that's rare in its own accord, of course, but... I was gonna say, maybe you didn't need the bottle rocket with the bomb, but, you know, hey. Just win it, you know? Just finish. Yeah, softnum having the... I mean, Rasmu's Proto 1 was also pretty equally bad like this, but Softnum having it, gets the Proto C, though. Ate their boiled egg. And both attacked. Oh my god, this could be bad. See, so you kind of have to decide now. When you do get these situations, exactly. When you do get these situations with Protos, you can sit here and just keep trying to bash it out forever and ever and ever, but at some point, you don't really need to kill it, right? You don't need the experience, after all. So, at some point, you just kind of have to try and run, potentially. And some runners, when they do get, like, a joiner turn 1, you'll see them defend, because they want to increase their... Every time you... every turn that continues on in the fight, you get better run chance. So they'll just defend so they don't die, and then run when their run chance is a lot better. But very unfortunate. I mean, Proto 1 will take no prisoners, of course. We all know this. Especially if you get an early joiner. It depends on your speed, but I mean, you might be right about Protos and Jeff at this level. So, I haven't looked at it recently enough to know personally. So, you may know better than I. But it depends on your speed. Right. It's everyone's speed. But it's a formula. Exactly. I did not know it was 10% per turn. Interesting, okay. That's good to know. For your little factoid book there. Alright, Softnum finally threw Proto 1. Didn't have the boiled egg there also because they used the boiled egg on the first Proto, so it does not come back when you die there, unfortunately. So Softnum trying for this duck setup. Opting, maybe gonna go back for it, it looks like. So duck can... okay, that's gonna be definitely hard to deal with unless duck goes backwards. So you can definitely get in a spot where it is not gonna happen for you, which is kind of what Softnum's dealing with right now. Oh man, and with 3 HP, that is rough. It only takes 1 hit from that duck to India there. But luckily, Proto 1 is gone, so Softnum can just run through Brick Road here and get to Duck without having to go through Proto 1 again. So they'll have full HP. If they do have to fight the Duck again, they can have another chance at Duck setup here, or Duck skip setup. And you don't always see the duck come out like peck in turn 1, but man, that duck is not playing with the skip today. Even that time, it did not want to get into a spot that Softnum could work with. Both times, Softnum just kind of got screwed by the duck. But as you can see now, he's not attacking, so of course it's this time when we have full HP. Now he decides to not hit a single time. Uh-oh. Softnum had the setup there. Unfortunately, Bubble Monkey was not moving at all. Was absolutely planted there. And gets a joiner. Softnum's Brick Road is just brutal, just like the rest of Softnum's run has been. Just the RNG Softnum has been facing is unlimitedly brutal. Alright, Rasmu now with the dog watching. What that dog doing? Let's use this bomb on tent. Ah, I see Rasmu did not maybe think about the bomb. But that's okay. Jeff has it, so Jeff can use it. Although I think the bottle rocket probably does more damage. This should be enough. I was gonna say, wow, big rockin', actually. So 112 GG's to blrasmu. This will secure Rasmu as our final racer in the Earthbound Super Series 2023 bracket. So congrats, Rasmu. And Softnum, thank you very much. Absolutely good race. GG's all around, and everyone has had a great tournament. I really do think that people have... Even if you didn't make it into brackets, I wholeheartedly believe that everyone has improved in this tournament just from what I've seen, so... And I see that every year, and it's always nice to see. So I do genuinely hope you still are interested in doing more Earthbound Super Series stuff in the future, because we'd love to have people who are dedicated to the game. GG's, Rasmu. And of course, Softnum's not out of this yet. Or at least not forfeited yet. We're gonna get this one in the bag. We're in Pond Cave after all. This one goes to the end. Luckily, Softnum's Pond Cave has actually been a little better. A lot of despawns, but going a lot better than Brick Road has been. And I've certainly seen worse Pond Caves in terms of despawns, so... I've seen some people stuck in here despawning for like 20 or 30 times. Grabbing that bottle rocket. And we are in the home stretch, baby. Just gotta ride that Skyrunner. One more spawn plate up here. Oh boy. It is the last spawn plate, but it can be just as mean as the other ones. Alright, just one despawn and we're out of there. And Rasmu, of course, gracing us with our necessary tent visit here. Corner of the tent. I'm so shocked that Buck Bumble still pulled the debug menu on yesterday. Yo, we called Dad? Nice. That's a rare one too. Alright, and we said we're done playing. Alright. That's a good way to end it. For sure, for sure. Make sure you power off instead of just pressing reset, alright? Oh yeah, well I mean it's over. Is that even, do you even call that a soft lock at that point? I mean, you said no to Dad. I don't even know if that's a soft lock or if it's just like that's just how it is. Oh yeah, you get the save point there. Nice. That's funny, actually. I mean, you called Dad. It's his job to save you where you're standing. That's interesting. That's crazy. That tent corner is wild, man. You get so much like content out of there. I was gonna say I don't think I've ever seen someone. I know the debug menu is possible. I don't think I've seen someone call Dad. It'll be on the VOD. Don't worry. It was definitely a back and forther, my lord. So, like, I think we had at least 3 times where it was synced in the ONET. We had a 5-minute... There was a 5-minute behind on the hill. So that just so you know, there was a runner that was 5 minutes ahead at Starman Jr. Yeah, Onet was rough for both. And that's just how it is. I mean, everyone can attest to that. Onet does not take prisoners. Onet does suck, yeah. All right, softnum, sorry. Softnum has landed and threed. And we are off to beat up that tent. And put this one to bed. So I can put myself to bed. The save did work, yeah. And, we were able to see it reload and then, Rasmus walked around. Softnum looking around for those, sometimes graveyard spawns when you get out of that ladder, but not this time. I have died there before. It has been very tragic. Yes, get your trash teddy bear. Very, very necessary. And we're skipping sandwich. Down to the tent, zooming. Probably a good reason too. There were some locals over there and a zombie dog as well. I was like, not the apprehension. Defend, BBR. Come on, Jeffrey. 111? Oh my god. That's one bottle rocket, man. Jeffrey, you have one job, dude. All right. So it's gonna be definitely close. We might see prey come out. It's gonna be very close. It's gonna be very close. We might see prey come out. We have 3 Rockins still. If Rockins roll high, I was gonna say without the Rockins rolling like super high, we would need triple digit Rockins every single time, which we already have not had. So we're gonna need prey here. Hopefully Softnum realizes this and starts dipping into the praise now, because he might as well. But might just be relying on the Rockins, which is not going to be enough. I don't know if these ones are going to do it, Softnum. The 1s and 8s. They'll get there eventually if Boogey does nothing. Okay, we got some psychic points, but it's enough for a freeze. Not that that really does a lot. No, he's praying. He's got it. He understands. There's a crit. That's gonna do it. Nice. Nest coming in clutch. Don't even need pray. We don't even need the psychic points. Thank you, Ness. Yeah, Tint was being insanely nice there. Tint was just like, I don't even see your party members at all. GG Softnum. In the face of all the RNG adversity, was able to pull this one out. So GG's to both racers. Absolutely good. I want to appreciate both our racers for coming out tonight. And yeah, 111, by the way. 111 BBR. Jeff, see me after class. That is not acceptable at all. All right, GG's 134.05 for softnum. I want to thank our runners for coming out and giving us this show tonight. It was a great race, a lot of back and forths, a lot of tears as well from Onet. But absolutely wonderful race from both racers. So thank you, Softnum and Rasmu. GG's to Rasmu. Congratulations to making it to the bracket. Hope to see some stuff from you there. And thank you, chat, for hanging out with me. And yes, and I appreciate you. It's always a pleasure to restream. I love this game. So let me see who is still up at this time of night. Who is still? No one on my follows list. Let's see if anyone's playing Earthbound. Dang. No, unless they're not playing Earthbound. No, they're offline. Well, let's see. Here we'll just do I'll just, they're running a rerun, but I mean it's still speedrun related, so. We will just raid ESA Marathon. Thank you guys for hanging out. We do not have any other races scheduled at this current time due to the Swiss round being over. But do stay tuned because the brackets should be pretty much known at this point. And I know our racers are pretty good about scheduling fast, so I'm sure we'll have that schedule out as soon as that is all done. So I hope you all have a great, wonderful rest of your weekend, and we'll see you on the next one.